Hongkongers braved the fifth black rainstorm alert in 2 weeks as multiple areas in the city are deluged. 2 more imported cases of chikungunya fever are reported, with a father and his daughter developing symptoms while traveling in Bangladesh. And Portugal football superstar Cristiano Ronaldo charms fans in Hong Kong. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Evelyn Bai. Hongkongers once again woke up to chaos as torrential rain lashed the city, triggering the black rainstorm warning for a record-shattering 5th time this year. At least 5 reports of flooding were logged citywide, with residents on Hong Kong Island and Lantau Island bearing the brunt of the storm. Cheryl Yun reports.
Hong Kong's relentless rain showed no signs of easing as tropical cyclone Podu bore down on the city this morning, smashing records and echoing the chaos of just over a week ago, when roads morphed into rivers across Hong Kong Island. Near HKU Station, vehicles and pedestrians battled ankle-deep floodwaters to navigate the morning commute. Outside the Duchess of Kent Children's Hospital at Sandy Bay, floods paralyzed roads, stranding a minibus in the middle of the road. On Lantau Island, Pui O Hampton transformed into a muddy swamp as raging floodwaters swept away everything in their path. In Tung Chung, overflowing rivers sent branches and debris spilling onto bridges and walkways, forcing even dogs to tiptoe through the obstacles. In flood-prone areas such as Queen Mary Hospital and the Chai Wan Road roundabout, authorities have intensified preventive measures, including the deployment of water-pumping dragons to mitigate flooding. The observatory raised the amber signal at 5:22 a.m. this morning, upgrading to red just over an hour later. At 7:50 a.m., the highest black alert was activated, the 5th time in just a fortnight. As Podu continued to depart from the city and gradually weaken, all tropical cyclone warnings were cancelled at 12:20 p.m. Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Meanwhile, Tropical Storm Podu, downgraded from a typhoon after lashing Taiwan a day earlier, made its 2nd landfall in Fujian province around midnight. The storm unleashed massive evacuations, transport chaos, and extreme rainfall across southern China, with Guangdong and Fujian taking the full force. Kunting Yang reports.
As Podu continues its fast northwest track after barreling through Fujian this morning, emergency efforts shifted focus to neighboring Guangdong, Guangxi, and even inland Hunan province. Authorities evacuated over 75,000 people in Guangdong alone, while Fujian relocated 6,000 from coastal zones. Both provinces escalated emergency responses to level 2, the mainland's 2nd highest alert. In Fujian's capital, Xiamen, winds gusting up to 30 meters per second uprooted trees and temporarily severed power. Meanwhile, regional airports reported cancellation rates of around 20%. In Fujian's Chenzhou, a critical export hub for textiles, footwear, and apparel, over a third of flights were grounded. The storm compounds a summer of extremes as China has battled record rainfall in northern and southern regions, alongside prolonged interior heat waves. The central government allocated an additional 430 million yuan for disaster relief today, bringing total funding since April to at least 5.8 billion yuan. Kunting Yang, Cable News.
Hong Kong has recorded 2 additional imported cases of chikungunya fever, raising the total confirmed cases to 8 this year. The patients are a 50-year-old man and his 8-year-old daughter who lived in Le Prestige in Lohas Park in Tseung Kwan O. They had traveled to Dhaka, Bangladesh from July 20th to August 10th. The 50-year-old developed a fever while in Dhaka, and his blood sample tested positive for chikungunya fever. His fever subsided before returning to Hong Kong, but he visited a private doctor on Tuesday due to joint swelling. The daughter developed a fever on the same day, along with coughing and fatigue. She has been admitted to a hospital in a mosquito-free environment and is in stable condition. 5 individuals from private care institutions were arrested by the Independent Commission Against Corruption on suspicion of defrauding social welfare subsidies of about $18 million. The arrestees, 2 men and 3 women, included 2 registered nurses and 1 occupational therapist. 2 of them are the masterminds of the case, each operating a separate private care institution. They have been working together since 2021 to apply to become accredited service providers under the Community Care Service Voucher Scheme for the elderly. They are also accused of inducing family members of elderly to participate. The suspects allegedly claimed to the Social Welfare Department that they provided home visits for 20 to 200 elderly individuals each month, offering rehabilitation exercise, nursing care, meals, and cleaning services, thereby obtaining monthly community voucher subsidies of over $10,000. The institutions would then split the proceeds with the family members. The anti-graft agency noted that, in some cases, while home visits were made, services were not fully provided. The actual amount defrauded and the number of elderly individuals affected remain under investigation. Police have arrested 1 man and are seeking 3 others, including a suspected syndicate core member, after uncovering a fraud ring exploiting ride-hailing platforms to employ unqualified drivers. Bess Leung has the details.
The crackdown follows a public tip-off on Monday when a passenger using the AMAP ride-hailing platform grew suspicious of a Mandarin-speaking driver. After questioning revealed the driver lacked a Hong Kong identity card, the passenger alerted police. Investigations showed the driver used a fraudulent account registered via Universe Call, a service provider linked to AMAP. While Universe Call confirmed valid initial credentials, police confirmed the driver was an imposter. Further police investigation exposed a coordinated scheme. Speaking in a media briefing, Superintendent Lee Mok-yik said a suspected syndicate recruited people to register accounts, then gave them to unqualified drivers to earn fares, skipping checks, and taking commissions. Police arrested a 53-year-old man Wednesday for allegedly providing his details to create the fraudulent account. He faces conspiracy to defraud charges. Authorities are now actively seeking 3 other individuals: the alleged syndicate core member responsible for recruitment, the unqualified driver involved in the incident, and the vehicle owner. The investigation is ongoing. Bess Leung, Cable News.
Tens of thousands are fleeing devastating wildfires across southern Europe, with Greece and Spain facing apocalyptic scenes and urgently requesting firefighting aid from the European Union as an unrelenting heat wave fuels the crisis. Quentin Yang reports.
The situation is particularly critical in Greece. The popular Aegean island of Chios was engulfed Wednesday night as flames swept across its hillsides. Meanwhile, the country's 3rd largest city, Patras, is under siege with multiple fire tornadoes tearing through surrounding mountains. Coastal defense vessels battled blazes from the sea as thick smoke choked the coastline. The Patras fires have forced over 7,000 people to evacuate since Tuesday, with volunteers describing the area as like the end of the world. Thousands of firefighters and water-dropping helicopters are struggling against extreme heat, bone-dry conditions, and strong winds. Spain, enduring its 10th consecutive day of scorching temperatures, faces equally dire circumstances. Fierce fires rage in the northwest Orense province, where desperate residents formed impromptu firefighting teams. The crisis turned deadly when a 35-year-old volunteer firefighter perished, trapped by flames. With a heat wave predicted to last until next Monday, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez mourned the firefighter's death, warned of extreme danger, and urged public caution. Both 2 countries have formally requested additional EU aid of firefighting planes and personnel. Neighboring Portugal, Italy, and the Balkans are all threatened by the dangerous heat. The EU's Emergency Coordination Center estimates wildfires have already consumed approximately 440,000 hectares of land across the Eurozone this year. Quentin Yang, Cable News.
A power outage at an Osaka subway station in Japan has left nearly 30,000 people stranded overnight and forced the 2025 World Expo to open 1 hour late today. The Osaka Metro Chuo line was suspended at around 9:30 p.m. on Wednesday due to a power outage, forcing the closure of Umeshima Station, the closest station to the Expo venue, and an 8-hour halt to the Seoul train route serving the venue. The disruption occurred just as evening crowds were preparing to depart after the Expo's regular closing time, 10 p.m. Local authorities temporarily opened some pavilions for stranded people as emergency shelters and distributed water and food. The 8-hour service suspension resulted in 36 people feeling unwell and being taken to the hospital, but all were reported in stable condition. Railway operations fully resumed early this morning at around 5 a.m., with trains starting to run to clear the passenger backlog. Now let's take a look at the stock markets. The Hang Seng Index ended the day down 94 points. Top ATIC stocks of the day: Tencent was up $4. Checker Fund was down 6 cents. Meituan was up 10 cents. Ping An was up $1.10. On to the weather now. Mainly cloudy with occasional heavy showers and squally thunderstorms. Temperatures will range between 26 and 30 degrees. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our news tonight. I'm Evelyn Bai. Thanks for watching and good night.